All right, good morning. Things you need to know this week. Mahjong is returning to 1 p.m. start time from now on, so Mahjong players, get out there and play. The Ladies' Open Gathering will happen on Thursday at noon this week. We are starting a birthday cake initiative. You can thank Jean Barlow for that one. So let Jean or Eileen Howe know your birthday month so that you can get added to the list. Apparently there's going to be cake. The transition support group is going to meet next Friday at 2:30. And here's the big ones. January 18th, the Singers Round concert at UCOV. $20 a ticket. It's going to be marvelous. Get your tickets. Talk to Nancy Minaldi-Scanlon. Nancy, wave your arms. If you're not sure what's going on, she can give you more info. January 24th is the auction. It is going to be amazing. You want to come to that. So January 24, come to the auction. And then please sign up at the sign-up table for one of the shareholder meetings being held weekly through March. They're actually a lot of fun. You get to go, you're either here or at someone's home, and you find out all the stuff about where your money goes, where our money as a church goes. They are great meetings, and they're actually fun, so sign up for one of those. And I'm going to turn it over to Jan.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice, known as UCOV. My name is Jan Simon, and I'm the worship associate for this morning's service. At UCOV, we try to center love and welcome and to journey together in ways that affirm and support one another. Whether you are with us for the day or here for a lifetime, we are glad that you have chosen to join us for connection, community, and celebration. No matter who you are, who you love, what pronouns you use, or where you are on life's journey, we hope that you'll find here questions that stretch you, people to befriend you, and liberal religious values that challenge you to join us in loving boldly, living justly, and welcoming radically. We are so pleased that you have chosen to worship with us. If anyone is here for the first time and feels comfortable doing so, please stand up, and someone will bring you a microphone so you can introduce yourself. Anybody here for the first time? Oh, we've got a winner, two. Three.
My name's Christina Van Norman. I'm in Maryland half the time. I'm down here in Nokomis half the time. I don't know what else you want to know. I'm an acupuncturist.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Ferial. I live in Venice, half the time, but the other half's in a trailer or camper because we can't stand the heat. I've wanted to come to one of these services for about 30 years, so here I am.
Better late than never.
Right. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Meg Clark. I'm the sister of this guy here who comes regularly. So he got us up early this morning. This is my husband, Bill. We're from Vancouver. We're just visiting, but we'll come back.
Welcome. We're happy to have you. Wow.
I'm Vera Nichols from Stowe, Vermont, and I'm here because I wanted to come with my friend Lori and check it out.
Welcome.
Good morning. My name's Glenn Allen. I'm a musician and teacher. I'm in Northport now, but I was part of the Hollywood Unitarian for many, many years. Good to be here.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Morris. I'm from Butler, Pennsylvania, and I'm down here for probably half a year, I guess. I've only been here for 3 weeks, but I've attended the UU Church up in Pittsburgh. It's a pretty good congregation up there, so just glad to be here. Thank you.
Great, welcome.
Hi, I'm Carol from the Ithaca, New York UU congregation, and I was enjoying the Eagles at Oscar Scherer State Park this morning.
Oh, welcome. Did you bring an eagle with you? No. Okay, any snowbirds back from the snow? Oh, got one over there. I'm not going to say your name because you get to introduce yourself.
I'm Susan. I just came back from North Carolina, and I'll be here through May.
Welcome back, Susan. Okay, well, welcome everyone. This is great. We love having lots of people here. We are now entering into a sacred space, so please silence all electronics that you may have with you. All right, we're pretending that I'm lighting the chalice. So it doesn't want to go on. Amy will help me later. Our chalice lighting reading is, oh, thank you. In the Mystery of Life About Us, There is Light by the Reverend George Kimmich Beach. In the mystery of life about us, there is light. It gives us a place to be, to grow, to rejoice together. It opens the pathways to love. In this place of friendship, there is freedom. Let the light we kindle go before us, strong in hope, wide in goodwill, inviting the day to come. May we, as a people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. We light our chalice today in hope of that strength, that boldness, and that bravery and that love. And Lisa will now do the prelude.
I want to start today with some words from Ella Boyer, who muses about what it means to come together when we are so very different. Boyer writes, as we create and share sacred spaces together, let us reflect upon what brings us here. We've all come here for different reasons, from different decisions. We've faced different challenges and we've shared different love. And yet all of our differences have led us to this space right here, right now. And some believe we're here for a greater purpose. Others hold fast to a claim of complete coincidence. Others still lie somewhere in between, and there are so many differences and barriers between each individual. It would seem at times as though the odds were stacked against us, becoming one whole. As we believe different things and live and experience different things and value and hate different things. We are the children of God, the children of the earth, or just fully grown adults. Here is a piece of the ongoing cycles of the universe, the children of the stars. We all have different definitions and explanations to who or what or why we are, and maybe we're all right. Our revelation is not sealed. Despite all that is different, there is one thing that is certainly the same. Somehow we are all right here, right now. We are growing and changing and discovering all here, all together, sharing the same sacred space that we have shared for years, sometimes for generations, constantly evolving, constantly changing. Let us continue. Let us change and fight together. Let us adapt together. Let us grow together. Let us worship together. UCOV is a welcoming and caring community which is open to anyone who respectfully enters. And we encourage spiritual growth, seek meaning, and pursue justice together. So please join me now in reading the words of our covenant, the promise of how we will be with one another. In a climate of joy, goodwill, and trust, this congregation covenants to treat one another with kindness and respect, to listen with openness and acceptance, to support and protect the environment of which we are all a part, to solve problems responsibly as we grow and change, to encourage learning and nurture the growth of diverse human spirits, and to dedicate time, talent, and resources in an effort to make a difference in local and world communities. In the spirit of our free religious heritage, we promise these to one another. Please rise now in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit. the offering this week is for Second Chance, Last Opportunity. Our words for our offering are always offered with levity because giving should never hurt. You know, money isn't everything. It only leads to suffering. It can buy a house but not a home. It can buy a bed but not sleep. It can buy a clock but not time, a book but not knowledge. It can buy you a job but not respect. It can buy you medicine but not health. Blood but not life, sex but not love. So you see, money isn't everything. And I tell you this because I am your friend, and as your friend, I would like to take away your pain and suffering. So please give all of your money to the church and let us suffer for you. This morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received. Thank you so much, not just for these gifts, but for absolutely everything that you do for the life and the work of this incredible community. It's as a community of human hearts and human hands that we come together here to bear witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrow and celebrate life's joys. Before or during the service at any other point, you're welcome to come up, light a candle over here on the candle table. At this point of the service, we will light them for you. So you can raise a hand and someone will bring you a microphone if you have something to share. Please share only those stories that are yours to tell. So if anybody's got anything, raise your hands.
Come on, Katie, stand up. Turn around. Hi, I'm Barbara Griffin, and I know there are a lot of new people here who I don't know, so I feel the need to introduce myself. And this is my daughter, Katie, who's visiting all the way from Argentina. And when she comes, this is the first time in 2 years that we've seen her other than on Skype. So when she comes, I won't let go of her for a second. So we're really glad to have her here with us.
Thank you. I'm Cindy Bauman, and I have sorrows for friends who've lost friends and have to keep their bags packed right now because of the fires in LA. And so that's my sorrow. I also want to add that anyone with issues of grief and bereavement, we will be meeting this coming Wednesday at 1:30. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Dr. Malave. A quick request for prayer. My dear husband is having surgery on Wednesday. It's just hip replacement, so it's long overdue. He's been driving me crazy, so I'm ready for him to get better. So he will be. I'll let you all know, and I'll be coming in as much as I can. And second is just like Cindy was saying, I also have a deep connection to Altadena. The home I owned there was burned down to the ground, and have friends that still haven't been able to reach. So please keep Southern California in your heart. It's going to be a long, long recovery, but it will happen. Thank you.
I'm going to be a little redundant. I spent most of my adult life in California, and I am just destroyed. It will never be the same landscape-wise, economically, or any other way. It's just, I'm heartsick. And I also have dear, dear friends and relatives who have their bags packed, and they're still in harm's way. So it's just an awful thing. Apocalyptic.
I'm Marianne Kerner, and I hope that this apocalypse will wake us up for the worldwide apocalypse. Many, many people all over the world are suffering also. Deprivation of homes, complete devastation, no food, no water, no nothing. So we all share the sorrow of California, but this is an opportunity, I hope, for us to spread our consciousness as a nation, as a people, to all of the people who are suffering all over the world. Thank you.
Just a reminder, my fellowship group is meeting on Thursday at my home. I think you all know, but I thought I better say it.
Going to light a candle for all the people touched by the fires in California. Our hopes and our prayers and our good thoughts go out to them. For all those all over the world who are suffering without adequate food and water and shelter. For all those suffering through the horror of war. May we hold them in our thoughts and in our hearts. May the love of this community hold all those who need love and concern. May the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May we never look away when we are needed. May those who are grieving be comforted, and those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed, and may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
Our first reading is The Silence of the Stars by David Wagoner. When Lawrence Vanderpost one night in the Kalahari Desert told the Bushmen that he couldn't hear the stars singing, they didn't believe him. They looked at him half smiling. They examined his face to see whether he was joking or deceiving them. Then 2 of these small men who plant nothing, who have almost nothing to hunt, who live on almost nothing, and with no one but themselves, led him away from the crackling thorn-scrub fire and stood with him under the night sky and listened. One of them whispered, "Do you hear them now?" And Vanderpost listened, not wanting to disbelieve, but had to answer, "No." They walked him slowly like a sick man to the small, dim circle of firelight and told him they were terribly sorry. And he felt even sorrier for himself and blamed his ancestors for their strange loss of hearing, which was his loss now. On some clear nights when nearby houses have turned off their televisions, when the traffic dwindles, when through streets are between sirens and the jets overhead are between crossings, when the wind is hanging fire in the fir trees, and the long-eared owl in the neighboring grove between calls is regarding his own darkness, I look at the stars again as I first did to school myself in the names of constellations and remember my first sense of their terrible distance. I can still hear what I thought at the edge of silence, where the inside jokes of my heartbeat, my arterial traffic, the sea above high sea of my inner ear, myself tunelessly humming. But now I know what they are. My fair share of the music of the spheres and clusters of ripening stars, of the songs from the throats of the old gods, still tending even tone-deaf creatures through their exiles in the desert. Our meditation is titled A Longing for What is Real by Anne Hillman. I did not know I was on a search for passionate aliveness. I only knew I was lonely and lost, and that something was drawing me deeper beneath the surface of my life in search of meaning. There is a hunger in people to go to those deep depths, to know that our lives are sacred, that our hearts are truly capable of love. It is a yearning to be all that we can be, a longing for what is real. Please join me in 1 minute of silent thought, meditation, or prayer. Our interlude. Beautiful. Our second reading is from James Luther Adams's Examined Faith by Christopher Walton. Faith is not fundamentally about one's beliefs, but about one's commitments. Find out what someone values the most, and you will have found the object of her faith, whether she considers herself religious or not. Is it success? Is it the adrenaline rush of crisis? Is it comfort? Is it religion? The issue is not between theism and atheism as concepts of ultimate reality, Beach writes, but between authentic and perverted faith, or in traditional terms, between true and idolatrous faith. When our commitments claim more loyalty than they truly deserve, when we sacrifice great things in life to small things, we are living out a perverted faith. Authentic faith, on the other hand, grows out of critical awareness of how our commitments are ultimately related. It is rooted in a person's awareness that she is not God, that her perception is always limited, that her commitments will always need correction and redirection. Adams loved to say, an unexamined faith is not worth having, for it can be true only by accident. Authentic faith is an examined, self-critical faith.
So in just a second, I'm going to ask you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. But I want to remind you that this is a fun song. This is a fun song, so when the Spirit says sing, when the Spirit says dance, if you are so moved, get out there and sing and dance. Let's have some fun with this. So please rise in body or spirit. We're going to do 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. You know, it is an amazingly busy world anymore. Screens are everywhere. Information spews at us everywhere we turn. I know for me, sometimes it feels like I'm getting hit in the face with a fire hydrant. In an interview, Stephen King talked about the fact that when people are bombarded unrelentingly, desensitization happens. He said, you can get tired of reacting even to horror. You can only be so terrified for so long before you give up and go to sleep. You cannot remain at fight or flight forever. When the federal assault weapons ban expired in 2004 and the mass shootings started to increase, we all used to have vigils after each one. You remember that? When there'd be vigils all over the country. Last year, there were 503 mass shootings. 30 of them were mass murders. There weren't enough days to have a vigil before the next one happened, and sometimes there were multiples on one day. People get tired. And eventually we get numb, comfortably numb, immune to the problems. Like the man in the reading this morning, we stop hearing the stars. Life becomes all about getting from one point to the next, surviving the rat race without getting run over or letting the rats win. And that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's not about chewing through life, watching it flash past the windows of your car as you speed on to the next place you're supposed to be, and the next one, and the next one, until there are no more next, and you're at the end one. That's not what it's about. It's not about learning to cope with the bad by learning not to see or smell or taste. Because when the bad and the annoying or the sad go completely away, the good does too. When the world is too much with us and it's all too much, it's time to change our focus. It's not time to become immune. It's not time to be immune to the world, but to become alive to our place in it. Because sometimes the life you see and save and savor has to be your own. William Ellery Channing said, each of us is meant to have a character all our own, to be what no other can exactly be and do what no other can exactly do. We are here to be what no other can exactly be. Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living, so we are here to examine our lives. We're here to be our own story, to tell and experience our own stories as well and truly as we can. It is the transcendent wonder found in tiny moments of our day-to-day life, the little miracles of our daily stories, which save us from desensitization and let us continue to really live. Now, some of you may be familiar with mythologist Joseph Campbell. For Campbell, the quintessential story will always be the hero's tale. And we know this story. We know it in our bones. The hero begins humbly. He or she or they go out into the wide world. They conquer obstacles and enemies, and they return from the quest wiser, maybe even richer. They've suffered trial and tribulation and experienced a whole range of emotions. Harry Potter, The Wizard of Oz, Die Hard, Eat, Pray, Love. They're all heroes' tales of one kind or another. Nobody said the hero had to be wonderful. And our own lives are heroes' tales. Tales in which we make meaning of our experiences and we grow in our ability to understand what has happened and make increasingly more complex decisions based on our understanding of the pieces of our own story. Campbell says this, and it's important: life has no meaning. Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning, and we bring it to life. It's a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer. So to avoid that numbness, we have to start by slowing down. We have to start by focusing on actually having direct experience, not just of transcending mystery and wonder, but of life. We can't be the answer if we're drowning under the questions that are hitting us at 100 miles an hour. We have to immerse ourselves in actually experiencing the moments of our lives and making meaning of them, not standing in this flood of information and sensation and trying to drink it all in while we're being hit in the face with 1,000 more pieces. That isn't drinking, that's being waterboarded by life. You cannot take in that much. So instead of standing directly in the flooding water, walk beside the river and dip your cup in to take drinks at your discretion. The late great writer David Foster Wallace had this to say. He spoke to the graduates of Kenyon College in 2005. He said, "I'm sure as you guys know by now, it's extremely difficult to stay alert and attentive instead of getting hypnotized by the constant monologue inside your own head. It may be happening right now." 20 years after my own graduation, he writes, "I have come to gradually understand that the liberal arts cliche about teaching you how to think is actually shorthand for a much deeper, more serious idea. Learning how to think really means learning how to exercise some control over how and what you think. It means being conscious and aware enough to choose what you pay attention to and to choose how you construct meaning from experience. Because if you cannot exercise this kind of choice in adult life, you will be totally hosed," he says. Think of the old cliche about the mind being an excellent servant but a terrible master. What does that all mean? This is the part that matters. This is the part that keeps you from being nothing more than a voice echoing in your own head. This is what is real. As we go through our days at work or at home, we are each the center of our own universe. And it is easy to get stuck in this automatic view of the world, this lens that reminds us that we are the hero. And that, of course, that means no one else is really real, and that our needs should determine the priorities of the world around us. It's too easy when you're being hit with the fire hose to just tune inward and listen to that voice, to that place where your story is the only story and nothing else matters because you're so overwhelmed by the input. It's too easy to be numb, so that while you're no longer feeling the pain of the world, you aren't feeling the joy either. You aren't alive to life. Each thing we do, we rush through to do something else. Stars singing, what stars? But this is why the unexamined life isn't worth living. It takes effort. It takes effort to move our world-viewing lenses from their default setting, to realize that everyone around us is living their own hero's tale, and that some of their stories are harder and have more tedious bits than ours, but ours is still valid and valuable, and that listening to it and truly taking time to experience it makes us more able and more willing to hear the other stories. Some days we're not able to look for the stories outside our own, and some days we don't want to. And other days we see them effortlessly, and we're shocked that that view never came naturally. We are the heroes, but we're also the villains. You are the villain in somebody's story. You are the bit player in someone's, and you are the minor character, because they're all heroes too. Foster Wallace says, this is the reality of being well adjusted. You get to decide what has meaning. You get to decide what to worship. You get to decide what to experience. We all choose what is sacred or important or meaningful. We choose the lens that lets us see it as it acts in the world. We choose the story that we want to see and live. We choose what is important among the props and the scenes. And we get to focus on whether we will focus on measuring starlight or hearing the stars sing, or both, or neither. We are the hero and we are the director, and like any director, we can choose where to look and where to linger. We can pick the lens for this film called life. And it takes effort to move away from focusing only on the flood of high adrenaline things happening. It takes effort to choose to examine the world a little more closely. Not to ignore the bad, but to refuse to let it drown out the wonder of your own story. The wonder of the small, sublime moments of simply being alive. It takes effort not to only tell your own story, but to really hear the stories around you, to see the world in all its glory. Because even when the world is going to hell, a sunset is still beautiful, and your coffee still tastes delicious, and your shirt may feel soft and comfortable. There are moments. This effort, this examination, that is real freedom. That lens, the real answer. This is the truth. The simple, obvious elephant in the room truth. The meaning of life is choosing. We avoid the numbness by daring to believe that the stunning moments, the ordinary miracles, the triumphant stories of our own days have worth and value. We avoid the numbness by listening to the joy and the triumph of the stories around us, by feeling the authentic pain, not the manufactured garbage spewed at us. Choosing. Listen to the stories. Choose your lens well. Decide to live vibrantly. Absolutely refuse to be comfortably numb. Amen. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and the hearts of each one of us. Carry that flame as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you have yet to meet. Now we're going to be brave and we're going to try number 1,000. Morning has come. Lisa has promised to make sure we have a melody line here. So please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn this week, number 1,000, Morning Has Come.
Dance with joy and sing a
deserve a round of applause. Examine your lives and share your light. Go forth and be passionately alive. Peace, ashe, and may it be so.